Imagine you move from a place where you lived all your life. Imagine you move and you leave all your children and wife. Starting all over again, but no one you know is around. Well, they didn't have to imagine. They built it up from the ground. How does it sound? Not easy because it isn't. Could have phased them, but it didn't. But the Ray Bond, that's a winner. And they ran straight to the finish. You get to know them up close and personal. Wait, just give me a minute. Welcome to the front row. Can I get a drum roll? Intentional. We may be immigrants, but we are still intentional. We are dependable. It's just that set the bar, but still the best of all, we are intentional.
Welcome. I'm happy that you're able to join me here today. Welcome to the Intentional Immigrants podcast and channel. I'm your host, Yolanda Jack. I'm happy that you're able to join me. I want to give a big shout out to my regular listeners, viewers, and readers. This channel exists only to make your life just a little bit easier. Thanks for your feedback and suggestions. These series on financial literacy are aimed at giving you the tools necessary so that you can become empowered and equipped to make wise financial decisions. Today's recording is in response to a request from one of my listeners to talk about the difference between credit report and credit score. If you have not already done so, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The podcast is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Podbean. We also have an Instagram account. There's also a website. It's called you can find it at www.intentionalimmigrants.com. You can also sign up on the website for the blog posts when they are available. They are usually monthly blog posts. And also, as we progress and expand, if there are other offerings, you can be first to know about them. So just a disclaimer before we talk about the differences between a credit report and the credit score. These tips do not constitute financial advice, as I've never worked in a financial institution. However, they are based on my experience or the experiences of others. As such, I give you permission to do your own research and consult with your financial advisor before making decisions based on these tips that I will be sharing. Now let's get into the meat of the matter. Credit report. So think of a credit report like a progress report or a transcript. So you get a progress report at the end of the school year or at the end of a school term, and you get the transcript when you're done at the end of the schooling period that you went to school, say 3 years, 4 years, etc. So the progress report script will tell of the subjects that you took over time, how long you were in school. It will also tell of the grades that you got in each subject. Likewise, the credit report tells of your borrowing history and how you have repaid those loans over time. These credit transactions may be from a line of credit, it could be from a credit card, or it could be from other loans. Your credit score does not appear on your credit report. Credit score now. So the credit score is a 3-digit number that lenders will use to assess whether it is a good idea to give you a loan, as well as the likelihood that you will repay this loan. The loan could be in the form of a credit card, a mortgage, credit line of credit, or a car loan, etc. There are different credit score modeling software, but this is usually a 3-digit number, and it ranges from 300 to basically 850, depending on the software that is used. So remember our school analogy now. In school, there's a grading scheme that is used to award you a grade. So this grading scheme will range from F, which is usually anything below 50, and it says 50 to 60, and you get whether that's a C minus or a C, etc., or a C plus, depending on the grading scheme. So in the same way, the credit score that you get will determine whether or not, one, you have a difficulty securing a loan or a line of credit with favorable interest rate. In school, getting below 50 means that you failed. If you have a low credit score, then it means that you're going to have more difficulty in accessing credit. So you may be wondering, okay, so what are some things that go into my credit score? So according to Experian, the link is in the description below. Payment history, that is whether you pay your bills on time and in full. Think about it like this. If I was to come to you and say, may I have a loan for $500? You would be thinking about it, right? I assume. But you heard through the grapevine that I do not repay money that I have borrowed, or people who have borrowed from have to be following up with me so that I can repay the money that I borrowed. How willing would you be to give me a loan? So that's the first thing, payment history. The second thing is the credit utilization. So this is how much of the credit that is available to you is being used. The third thing is the length of the credit history. That is, the third thing is the length of your credit history. That is, how long have you been handling debt? Your experience using debt. The fourth thing is your credit mix. So this is the variety of credit instruments that you are exposed to. For example, if you have a car loan, you have student loan, you have credit card, that says to the lender that you can handle different types of credit and you can handle different monthly payments. New credit. This is whether you have recently opened new credit accounts, as well as how many, and also whether or not there are any hard checks, credit checks being done on your account or about you. Credit checks are usually done by institutions when you apply for credit. Sometimes landlords will do a credit check, or even an employer may do a credit check. For a credit check to be done, usually you have to give authorization to say, yes, run my credit. Do a credit check on me, right? So those are the tips. As usual, more information can be found on the description below. Links will be provided in the description below. All right, for persons in Fort McMurray in the Wood Buffalo region, the Multicultural Association of Wood Buffalo is having their usual financial literacy program. Now, this program is geared towards persons, anybody at all, not necessarily immigrants, but it's really geared towards immigrants, exposing them to the financial systems that exist in Canada. Okay. I'm hoping that this video was helpful in you getting a better understanding between credit report and credit score. Here's to your financial success. As always, remind you, you can always subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, You may also follow me on Instagram. And we also have a website, www.intentionalimmigrants.com. Thank you to Xavier Anderson for providing music. As always, I'm your host, Yolanda Jack, reminding you, he who watches the wind will not sow. He who watches the clouds will not reap. Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 4. You were born for greatness. Step out into your greatness so that mankind can benefit from you being here. So long, until next time.
Intentional. We may be immigrants, but we are still intentional. We are dependable. It's just that set the bar, but still the best of all. We are intentional.